Welcome to the Alchemy, Astrology, and Astro Health podcast. I'm Ira, medical astrologist, astroherbalist, and green witch. I was diagnosed with endometriosis at 19, and I was told I would never have children. I healed my body through the power of herbs, alternative health practitioners, energy healing, and more. At 28, I had the baby they said I would never have, without any interventions. I refused to believe that my body was not able to heal itself. Along this journey, I stumbled across medical astrology, and it resonated with me so much. I started down the path to learning this unique system that had been used for thousands of years in the medical community. I now help other women heal their bodies using their cosmic blueprint, the unique blueprint that every person has embedded in their DNA from the stars. This system helps me see what's going on in your body on a cosmic level and exactly how to help you give your body what it needs to heal itself. We are all uniquely and amazingly designed, and when we learn to work with our design, love ourselves for how we are designed to function, and integrate the cosmos into our lives, I truly believe that we can see true and lasting health brought into our lives. If you are ready to change your life, heal your body, and learn to deeply love who you are, this podcast is for you. Come join me as I discuss medical astrology, astronutrition, astroherbalism, health, wellness, spirituality, transformation, and so much more. I'm so excited you are joining me. Hi everyone, and welcome back to Alchemy, Astrology, and Astro Health. I'm Ira, I'm your host, and I am going to be talking about something that pretty much everyone experiences at some point in their life, and that is mental health issues. So let's dive right into this episode today, shall we? So these issues can range from anxiety and depression to things that are much more serious concerns, right? Such as schizophrenia, bipolar, etc., etc. No matter what, though, they all hold one thing in common, and that is the ability to make life very difficult for the person who is experiencing any of those. And again, this can range from minor inconveniences, right? Such as I'm not making a needed phone call on time, or to more major ones, such as losing relationships of your families and friends, and losing jobs, and becoming houseless, and much more. I have experienced some of these mental health issues in my own life. After having my daughter, I had extremely severe postpartum depression that was literally on the verge of turning into postpartum psychosis. It went undiagnosed for 18 months because I, quote unquote, appeared to be functioning normally, right? I was just fine according to everybody. And all the symptoms that I experienced and told people about were literally chalked up to, well, you're just a first-time mom. Of course you don't want to be separated from your baby. Of course you're a bit anxious about things. You're a brand new mother. And even the doctors dismissed my symptoms during all of my postpartum follow-up appointments. I didn't present in the classical textbook way, right? So I was pushed aside and dismissed. And this is what is wrong with a system that puts everyone into the same box and refuses to acknowledge that people are individuals and they're not going to do, behave, or show symptoms in the same fashion. When healthcare moved away from the whole person holistic model, we as a society are the ones that are suffering the consequences, especially those of us who do not fit the textbook signs and symptoms, which, by the way, were mostly determined by observing and studying biological men and little to no biological women. And in most cases, women present entirely differently to men in almost every health issue. Surprise, huh? So this leads to being dismissed, told you are imagining things, it's all in your head, and misdiagnosis. And sometimes one or all of these can be fatal. And this is why I use and adore medical astrology as my tool to help my clients heal, because it looks at each person as the cosmically designed being that they are, the individual in their entirety, right? And it pinpoints things that would otherwise be missed in a one-size-fits-all system. I have helped numerous people resolve their health issues because I listened to them. Step one, right? I truly heard what they were saying, and then I looked at them as a whole person and not just a collection of symptoms to figure out. So let's take some of that whole person lens, right, and apply it to mental health using medical astrology as the magnifying glass and the tool to do so. So medical astrology does point out some similarities in individuals with certain prominent signs in their chart that would then lead those people to be more susceptible to experiencing some sort of mental health concern in their lifetime. The main ones that I really want to touch briefly on are Gemini, Sagittarius, and Pisces. First up, Gemini. Gemini is a mutable air sign, and as such, they are just ever-changing, ever-revolving people. Gemini is ruled by Mercury. Mercury governs communication and learning and spreading knowledge, right? So as such, Gemini is a very heady sign that can tend to get too caught up in their own heads many times. This can lead to anxiety, depression, sometimes suicidal thoughts, ideations, and many other things. Many prominently, Gemini individuals, you got lots of Gemini in your chart, are ones that are accused of being like bipolar because they change their minds frequently. They can be wishy-washy on decisions sometimes, and they flip through different emotions very quickly. But let me be clear here, bipolar is much more than just being indecisive or changing your mind frequently, right? But unfortunately, this is what the general public seems to think it consists of, and they use it incorrectly to then stigmatize people, which is ew, right? And unkind, and should be called out anytime someone makes a joke about it or makes another person the punchline to their point. So moving on, off my soapbox, Gemini is very prone to these mental health concerns and conditions because of that mutable quality. They are meant to move from one subject to another quickly, to get the gist of something new on like super speed, learn it very well in a short period of time, and then disseminate that information to others on an easy to understand level. Because of this, and then society telling them they are wrong for being who they are, anxiety and depression are common occurrences here. This is also because Mercury rules the nervous system as well, which is, i.e., the communication center of the body, right? And Gemini's airy quality lends to a drying effect to the nervous system. Dried out nerves lead to a frazzled nervous system that gets overwhelmed very quickly, which then leads to burnout and or shutting down, i.e. depression. And the overwhelmed can be anxiety. It can show up in so many different ways for everybody. The best thing a strong, prominent Gemini can do for themselves is to accept themselves for who they are. Be happy with who you are, because what other people think ultimately doesn't matter. And also, stay hydrated. Gemini is a sign that gets really caught up, right, in whatever it is that they're doing, whatever it is they're hyper-focusing on at that moment to pick up and learn and do, right, and want to assimilate into themselves and integrate so they can put it out to others, and they forget to eat or drink, and many times this can lead to health problems, right, mainly dehydration, and dehydration leads to so many other issues. So drinking plenty of water with electrolytes is imperative, as well as having a higher fat diet, right? Because your nervous system needs plenty of high quality fats to function at its best. The next sign up is Sagittarius. Sagittarius is prone to delusions, mania, and religious obsessions. Sagittarius is a mutable fire sign, and it's also Gemini's opposite sign. This means they co-rule the nervous system together. Also, Sagittarius tends toward a dried out, frazzled nervous system, but due to heat instead of that like dryness from like air, right? Like a wind dry, leads to a different presentation in a little bit of ways, right? This means then that instead of having a frazzled out nervous system from being dehydrated, it's frazzled out because they can literally like burn off, quote unquote, burn off, right? The myelin sheaths of the nerves. The myelin sheath is a necessary coating around each nerve and nerve bundle that protects the nerves, but it also keeps the signals they send firing correctly and going to the locations they're supposed to. So think of your nervous system like an electrical cord, right? And think of when you've had an electrical cord where part of the cord is frayed in one area, right? The coating, the plastic coating over it is frayed. This can lead to your appliance or fixture not working well. Sometimes it'll start flickering. You'll have issues sometimes, right? And also, if you ever touch that open area and those exposed wires, you can get a small zap or even a shock, right? This is the same way with the nerves. When parts of the myelin sheath are worn away, frayed, whatever you want to consider it, right? The nerve impulses can actually misfire when they hit that section. This can lead to weird zaps, body parts suddenly jerking when you aren't expecting it to, for your brain to start seeing things, imagining things, etc., that are not based in your current reality. This can obviously be very hard to deal with for many people because they 100% wholeheartedly believe that what they are perceiving currently is true. And trying to show or tell them otherwise can lead to confusion, anger, trust, them lashing out physically at you. It can lead to a lot of things because they are 100% believing what their brain is showing them at that moment in time, even if it doesn't line up with what the current reality is, right? Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. It is also a very heady sign. They are a little bit different than Gemini in the fact that Sagittarius is more here to help learn like the philosophical issue and nature of things, understand how those work, and then spread that knowledge to the collective. Fortunately, many get caught up in being the expert, the know-it-alls, and even fall prey to the very teachings they are supposed to break down and explain why those systems and knowledge should be disregarded. Because of this, many fall victim to the religious teachings they are here to tell others to eschew, and even have ended up as cult leaders themselves in some instances. Something to just note if you have a lot of Sagittarius in your chart, and again, it depends on where it is and what other things are around it, right? But this is just a brief overview, if you will. Again, the main treatment is the same. Plenty of hydration to cool that fire down, electrolytes to retain it, and a higher fat diet to help. For both Gemini and Sagittarius, you want high quantities of thiamine and the other B vitamins daily. This is because your nervous system needs tons and tons and tons of B vitamins to function at its best. It's best to get these through your food, so that's egg yolks, green leafy vegetables, liver. If you don't like liver, liver pills, cod liver oil, those all have vitamin B's in them. Not as much in cod liver oil as there is in like beef liver, right? So desiccated liver pills are a good one to take to also get the B vitamins. You can do a B vitamin supplement. I suggest a liquid one that you put under your tongue, let it sit for 30 seconds to a minute, and then swallow. This makes sure you avoid the digestive system. They go straight into your bloodstream, so you get all of what you need instead of only part of what you need, right? So highly, highly recommend getting lots of B vitamins in some way, shape, or form. Food is always best. Supplements second. On to Pisces now. Pisces tend to suffer with depression, suicidal ideations, and sometimes anxiety, but it's more they lean more toward the depression aspect. Schizophrenia sometimes with like the delusional, the paranoid delusions that come with that. Okay, for a lot of times, not always, not everybody's a paranoid. This presents as a paranoia as part of schizophrenia, but that is one way to present. So that can happen with Pisces. This is partially due to the fact that Pisces is such a spiritual sign, right? They can see and understand things on a level that like many of us can't and probably never will be able to. And so that living in this current reality then to them feels like a drudgery. It's a major task, and it's downright depressing to them because they know how much better it could and should be, right? They are also very sensitive, which is a great thing to be. Don't get me wrong. Being sensitive to others' energies and being able to understand them on another level because you can feel that energy is a great, great trait to have. Because they can pick up on others' energies very easily, this can actually lead to some confusion about what is and is not theirs, right? What is their energy? Which is that really their feeling, their emotion, their desire? What if that ideation they're picking up on is actually someone else's, right? It's hard for them to sometimes differentiate what's mine and what's yours because they pick up so much. Wanting to escape this reality and live more in the spiritual and other realms is a very common theme here if you have a strong Pisces presence in your chart. That was a hard thing. Pisces presence. I keep wanting to trip over my tongue there. This can lead to finding ways to escape via drugs, alcohol, and honestly, even kind of like overdoing the spiritual ceremony and spiritual herbs like ayahuasca. Everyone wants to go and do like the ayahuasca ceremonies, right? And it can actually become such a thing for a Pisces to keep going there and doing it over and over and over and over multiple times. They end up using it as an escape to get to the reality they want to be in instead of living in the reality that they are currently in, right? And that can actually lead to issues too, right? Because those herbs are literally meant to be like ceremonial. They're meant to be used in rituals. They're meant to be used periodically, very periodically, to help you ascend or achieve something in like another realm that you've been looking to. They're not made to be used consistently and constantly, and that's not what they're here to do. And you can actually overdo it, and it can become almost like an addiction where you feel like you need that ayahuasca or whatever it is, right, to get you to that world that you prefer to be in. They can end up leading almost too far into the spiritual realm and end up almost abusing in some way some of that too. Pisces again is a mutable sign, but it's a mutable water sign in this case. And so they too have that very changeable quality about them many times, which can lead to some health issues in the body. And so the best thing a Pisces can absolutely do for themselves is to learn to balance spending time in the other realms with time in this current reality, right? Walking a spiritual path with earthly feet. Meditation is great here to help you get to those moments where you want to be, but then come back down to the present and live in this reality, right? And really needing to surround yourself with people that make this current reality a joy to be in. People that see you, right? They see you for who you are. They help you understand the best things about you. They see things that you might not ever see about yourself. They give credence to those parts of you that you feel there's something wrong with you, right? And it can actually really make you want to spend more time in this current reality instead of trying to escape it in some way, shape, or form. So many Pisces, especially if it's one of your top 3 sun, moon, or rising, really have poor nutritional intake in some ways because they eat well, but their body has a really hard time digesting many items, and so you're not getting all of the nutrients that your body needs and absorbing it as you should, and this can lead to issues, right? Because when our body doesn't have the necessary nutrition that it needs and the nutritional vitamins and minerals in the sufficient quantities, it can lead to different things. Depression, anxiety are both, ones, other mental health issues, because the body can't function properly when it doesn't have enough of those. So a very nutrient-dense diet and food intake that consists of very nourishing herbal and like bone broths, animal products, teas, infusions is really best here to help somebody with a strong Pisces in their chart to absorb the nutrients that you're taking in. Focusing on increasing hydration is always good too, because despite being a water sign, Pisces is a drier water sign due to that mutable quality. So think of it more as like steam or vapor of water, where it's been like boiled off by the sun. And so you have like that vapor in the air, or you're boiling on the stove and you have that vapor, that steam that comes from it. And how it's very flitting, right, and fleeing. It's not there very long. It has a very ethereal quality to it. It's there, then it's gone. That is the Pisces water, right? And so they need to drink just as much water as their other mutable cousins do, Sagittarius and Gemini, maybe more so, ironically, despite being a water sign. So overall, to really determine like the root cause of your mental health concerns, your struggles, or whatever else is happening, right, a full understanding of your chart is absolutely necessary. Hard aspects in your chart can make you more prone to having these occur. Certain aspects can actually help, and they can lend like a helping and protective hand to you. And so a full reading will obviously show you where your body struggles the most. It'll show you where you struggle with certain nutrients and why, so then you can nourish your body, your specific body, appropriately. Serotonin and dopamine are both produced in the colon and need certain nutrients, vitamins and minerals, right, to be synthesized in appropriate quantities. If those are not present in high enough quantities to form serotonin and dopamine, your mental health can suffer. Serotonin is what we consider like one of the happiness hormones, right? It's a neurotransmitter and a hormone, and you need it to make your brain happy and healthy and leave depression and anxiety in the toilet and somewhere else where you don't want them, right? And so if you don't have those in sufficient quantities, things can not be easy. And so next week, I will be discussing just how to increase serotonin and dopamine naturally in your body and what exactly that has to do with medical astrology, right? Like how to look at your chart via a medical astrology lens and determine what you need for those. So if after listening to this, you were like, hell yeah, I want my own reading, I want to understand my cosmic blueprint, I want to find out just how amazing I really am, as well as how to support my specific body and its needs in the best way possible, then come on over. I would love to work with you. Head over to atlasastrology.com/everything. That is, again, atlaastrology.com/everything to sign up for a medical astrology package that works best for you. And I include payment plans in every single one of them. So let's start finding solutions to those pesky problems. And if you're interested in learning more and diving deeper into this subject with me, then you're in luck, because myself and Jess Marie from the Marikai Method are going to be doing a combined masterclass on SOUL-utions for mental health coming up on August 13th. There are more details in the ad to follow this episode, so tune into that if you are interested in knowing more and signing up for that. Until next time, love and light. Hi everyone, Jess Marie and I are here because we want to announce something amazing that's coming up, and we wanted to get you all excited and ready to come and join us. So thank you, Jess, for joining me.
Absolutely.
Yes, so Jess and I, you'll hear her podcast episode coming out soon, but we have really hit it off. She does Ayurveda and mental health counseling with that approach, and it's awesome and amazing. And combining that with medical astrology and what I do has been awesome. So we decided that we want to get together and offer you a groundbreaking live event that you can come and join both of us and learn all about solutions to mental health using the lens of Ayurveda and medical astrology.
It's going to be absolutely wonderful because there are so many things that mesh together and overlap with our two approaches, especially with the astrology and the herbalism. And I think this is just a great way to not only learn about our two separate approaches, but how they can work together and complement each other, as well as learn about new modalities and things that are not necessarily talked about as much as other modalities. And I'm certain that in finding you and in finding me, people that are new to both of our practices are like, whoa, what is this? Vedic account counseling and Ayurveda specifically are on the rise, but they're still not yet as known as I'd like them to be. And then when I discovered you and we connected for the first time, astroherbalism, astronutrition, medical astrology, I had to know what it was all about. So I'm hoping that everybody who participates has that same intention and is just as excited as we are.
Yes, mental health issues are like all the rage right now. You hear it talked about constantly, which is great, and I'm glad that it's being destigmatized in a lot of ways, because they're real, they exist, and you shouldn't have to hide or be ashamed that you are struggling with anxiety, depression, bipolar, suicidal ideations, whatever it's presenting as for you. And while a lot of the approaches that we've been seeing talked about are definitely helpful for many people, too many of them are like a one size fits all approach, and that doesn't work for everybody. We're not one size fits all human beings, and so why should a one size fit all approach work for everybody? And it doesn't. And so people feel even more stigmatized and more left out and more alone because they're doing all the things that they're being told to do, and none of it is helping still. And so then they feel like there's something wrong with them. They start internalizing that, and there's no need to. So our approaches, both of them, very personalized, very much this is for you specifically. And what I'm recommending for one person, I would probably never recommend for the other person, even if they're having the exact same symptoms or presentation, because every body is different. And so I love this approach between Jess and I, because she has one way of looking at it and I have a slightly different way of looking at it. And while there is some overlap, like she was mentioning, it definitely both are a person-centered, whole being, holistic approach where we are looking at the whole person and not just their symptoms, and we're helping them manage these appropriately for them. And so I really am glad that we're bringing this up. This is going to be a huge, huge event, because we are super excited to be able to let you know that there is more than just this one size fits all, take these pills and if they don't work, tough luck approach out there that can really help turn the tides on a lot of those mental health issues that you are struggling with.
I completely agree with everything that you just said, and the individualized approach and our specific approaches and how we offer that is incredibly distinct. what we do is very rare and very unique. And that's something that I think a lot of people will be excited to learn more about, because this is kind of like a taboo sort of thing that we're doing, but very much looking forward to diving deeper into the mental health aspect of our approaches and how we complement each other. And we want to help more people. So whoever's listening, please join us. We really do want to bring new information and knowledge and wisdom to the surface. So I think this is a great way to do it.
Yes, definitely. So please come join us August 13th at 4 p.m. Mountain Time to 6 p.m. Mountain Time. So only 2 hours out of your day. It's easy peasy to attend. Pricing will be up soon and a link for you to come and join us. But in the meantime, put it on your calendar and be prepared to come and join us for this. We are going to be talking about astronutrition, astroherbalism, the Vedic approach to nutrition, and all those different pieces that come in from that. We're going to be talking about what the different influences are, how different bodies, show up with different things, and how we can use all of that information to come up with a personalized plan for you. There's going to be actionable steps. There is going to be some freebies that you are going to love. 20-minute health resets with me and a 30-minute mini little consultation with Jess, where we will both dive as deep as we can in those time frames to help you understand what's really going on with your body and how you can start helping your body today. So awesome stuff is coming. Please mark the calendar. The link will be dropping soon to sign up for this event. It is a paid event and pricing will be available on the link that will be dropping soon. So come join us August 13th, 4 p.m. Mountain to 6 p.m. Mountain. That is 3 p.m. Pacific, it is 5 p.m. Central, and it is 6 p.m. Eastern that this starts. So we would love to see you guys there and sign up soon. We'll talk to you later. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Alchemy, Astrology, and Astro Health. I hope you enjoyed today's episode as much as I enjoyed making it. You can find all relevant links to today's show in the show notes below. If you loved the show today, please subscribe, follow, and leave me a review. I love to hear your thoughts, and it helps me know what is a hit and to make more of that content, especially for you. If you want to learn more about me and how I can help you, head over to atlaastrology.com. There you can sign up for a medical astrology package, download my free sun sign in your health ebook, read the blog, and so much more. If you want to connect more outside the podcast, follow my Instagram channel @atlaastrology or join my Astro Connection community, the link to which you can find in the show notes. Until next time, love and light.